But these issues as to the circumstances under which an appraiser has to register, these are very tricky issues, and we are handling them, I think, in an appropriate way. And we have, in informal dialogues with IRS, have tried to point out that, appraisers, particularly real estate appraisers, already have to pass a test because they have to be state certified or licensed. And they also have to engage in continuing education, either under state law or because organizations, professional appraisal organizations like NAIFA and ASA require their credentialed members to engage in continuing education. So we're already doing what you're requiring other forms of tax return preparers are requiring them to do. And don't lump your requirements on top of the already existing requirements that we both have because we're professional appraisal organizations. So we're being advocates for that. If you want to insist that appraisers who do tax-related valuations, if you insist that they are paid preparers, don't put us under this other regime. Just recognize the regime that already exists and just give us credit for that. So that's something else that we're working on. So I would say, Chuck, as we look back on our relationship with NAIFA and the things that we've done together over the last year or so, it's really been pretty terrific. I think we've worked on important issues. I think that on many of those issues we've done things that I think all of our members would look at and say, thank you very much, you've done some good things for us. We're not always successful. We have some important decisions coming down the pike, and we'll see what kind of a grade we get after these pending decisions come down the pike. But I think this has been a very good relationship, productive for our members. It certainly kept people like John and myself very busy. This really gets me to another issue that we like to talk about whenever we talk about the government relations program, and that's having a political action committee so that we're able to make campaign contributions to members of Congress who support our goals. ASA has a PAC. We're trying to grow it. We understand that NAIFA does not. And of course, the decision as to whether you want a PAC is your decision. ASA members who choose to voluntarily contribute to ASA PAC are able to do it. A non-ASA member cannot contribute to ASA's PAC. And of course, if NAIFA is interested in thinking about establishing a PAC for its own members, we'd certainly be delighted to, give you the benefit of our experience about, how this works and the benefit of it for you folks. But clearly, whether we like it or not, members of Congress tend to pay most attention to people and interest groups that contribute to their re-election campaigns. That's just the way the system works, and not to recognize that can be rather perilous. Will members of Congress listen to the views of people and groups that don't contribute? Absolutely. But truthfully, when an interest group or an individual person does contribute to their re-election campaign, I think they kind of get moved to the head of the line, so to speak. And so we have found in our experience with ASA's Political Action Committee, that it's been very important and very helpful. And in that regard, I will mention something that Ann Susko brought to our attention just over this past weekend, and that is that the House Financial Services Committee has scheduled a hearing for about 2 weeks from now on an appraisal issue. Now, we happen to know the senior staff of that particular committee, but it's also the case that members of that committee we have supported in some cases with our Political Action Committee. Some other appraisal organizations have supported individual members of that House Financial Services Committee. So as of this recording, we don't know exactly what the agenda is for this particular hearing that's coming up in 2 weeks. We've got a call in to the staff director of the committee to find out, and we will know probably by the end of the day more about it. But because we're very familiar with that committee, and we know that some of the appraisal organizations, including our own, have made contributions to members of those committee, that committee. This is exactly a situation in which if you have made a contribution, it might be a little easier to talk to the committee and be able to get
doors open.
The door is open, exactly.
And I know I can probably hear a few groans over the internet now saying, oh, they're talking about government and I don't like how it works, and this is a little bit of, hey, here's how your sausage is made. Not everyone likes to talk about it or acknowledge it or know really what goes on, but the truth of the matter is that money buys access in Washington. It's the state of play here. And to the extent that what you do in support of a PAC is as much an investment in your profession and your professional well-being as the time and money you put into your designation, quite honestly. It's another way in which you're saying, hey, I really care about what I do for a living and the other people who do it with me. And I want to make sure that whatever happens to us is a very highly regulated profession, as we've seen through Dodd-Frank and its predecessor in FIREA and what the IRS does and what other federal agencies are looking to do. It's just as important in that regard to make sure that even if you don't have a direct vehicle like the members of ASA do, that you at least bear that in mind and sort of have an eyes wide open approach to, hey, maybe this is something that makes sense for me to be more active in or more engaged in, even if it's just on an individual basis, because that can make a difference.
The joint lobbying efforts that the two organizations have done have really benefited not just our members, but it benefits all the appraisers out there. When I go to a state meeting, not just a NAIFA meeting, it's always the appraisers who don't belong to any association who are getting up and complaining the most. And they're not contributing, either by association dues so we can do something like this, or a PAC. And the appraisal organizations really need to get more of those members to join to help fight the fight that it's really benefiting not just our members but everybody.
Well, that's an excellent point. And to the extent that we do good, and we think mainly we do good, in terms of real estate appraisers, certainly probably 80% of the appraisers out there working hard, doing good work, but not supporting ASA or NAIFA or